Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about being cautious not to hire or retain prima donnas in your team. So, when I say prima donna, I'm not mean the opera singer. I mean the other meaning behind it, which is someone, and again, irrelevant of the gender. This video is not about. I know in Italian it means it's related to a female opera singer, but prima donna for me, regardless of the gender, that's how I address it. Is someone who is very difficult to manage, very difficult to get along with other team members, demanding, egotistic, get upset very easily. Everyone has to walk on eggshells around them in the workplace. And let me explain to you some real life examples and how hopefully how it can be detrimental in your team and how can you avoid it. So first, for credibility, my name is Khaled. I've been a dentist for 20 years. I own my dental practice, Lakeside Dental Spa in Hervey Bay in Queensland. I took it from 1 chair to 10 chairs, from 3 staff members to close to 40 staff members over the course of 14 years. And you can check my details below for credibility. So again, disclaimer number 1, when I say prima donna, I don't imply it's just against females or males. It's gender irrespective. I've dealt with prima donnas in different genders, and it is not directed to any gender, just to be clear. You have to be very clear in this time and age with this stuff. So a prima donna person is in your team. You will find when you hire them, well, you can get some red flags early on in the interview, but let's say you're inexperienced like myself 10 years back or many years back, where you don't really see the red flag, but in the interview they're asking a lot of questions, and those questions are mostly like, I prefer to have 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to work in blah, blah, blah. I cannot work if there is blah, blah, blah. There is a lot of a lot of demands early on, and they don't make the process of interview, even booking the interview, easy, even discussing contracts and start dates. Everything is just, you have to accommodate them. So if you pass these red flags and you did not see them, you're as stupid as me before, which I was very stupid not to see them. And let's say you hire them. They might be okay the first few days, first weeks, but as they get used to the practice, then they will start to demand more things. You know, I can't work in certain days. I have to take Mondays off or Fridays off. I have to take a day off in the middle of the week. Or I can't work with this certain equipment. I can't start at a certain time. I have to start a little bit later. I got some tennis coaching. I got some violin, piano, whatever it is. They will start to, out of nowhere, there are new demands that, and they do it really slowly, like one demand on a time. And sometimes, again, it could be as stupid as me and not see those demands and start to, okay, fine, we can give them a bit of leeway. Mistake number 1, if you have a system in place, a fair system on everyone, do not break and violate your system just for one person. Everyone will see the unfairness in the treatment and inequality, the lack of equality in treatment, and it will create a lot of toxicity in your team. So mistake number 1, do not go back to your systems and double check with your system again. Why are you breaking your system and your way you're running things just for one person? So they will start to demand change in days and times and hours. They will start to to demand changes in the workplace as well. If they are clinicians, they will start to say, I don't want to see this type of patients, and I don't want to do this type of procedures anymore, and the list will start to get bigger. I only want to do it in a certain way. I don't want to work with this DA. I don't want to deal with this front office anymore. I want to deal with a different front office. Well, I'm not going to reuse this marketing. I don't want to be sounding like this if I'm on your practice website or whatever. Just start with one demand after the other. Of course, there's material, equipment, and instruments, and a lot of other things. If it's like a dental assistant or front office, they will start to talk about hours and days and how they don't want to work on this certain way. They don't want to talk this certain way to the patients. They don't want to use this software. This software is stupid. They don't agree with it. They want to use a different software. There's a saying I heard from a practice owner before, and they say, if there's a person, whether it's male, female again, a person that I keep thinking about every day, more than my partner, this person needs to be out of my team. If the staff member that you keep thinking about the most is always the one that's a prima donna, the one that's really having a lot of demands. Now, the damage if you keep them in your team, first, they don't leave, they usually stay, even if you don't submit demands, they stay and find other demands. For some reason, they get attracted to the chaos, they like the chaos. But if they don't leave and they don't agree to the demands, they will start to create some little alliances and unions within your team. They will start to spread how unfair they're being treated, and they will start to change the perspective on some other staff members that could have been very happy in the role, but suddenly they will start to lure them into their mindset, and suddenly they create like mini teams within your team, and it becomes a very toxic place to manage. Also, if you keep them, you will not, the demands will never end. You'll have one demand after the other after the other. Again, there's some attraction to the chaos as well. They like this chaos being created, and also they really don't know what they want. They just keep creating some different things every now and then. So if you have someone like that in your team within legal boundaries, of course, you gotta check in by yourself again, like why are those demands really justifiable? Is it gonna create a lot of unfairness in your team, makes it hard to manage other staff, and if your staff member feel like they've been not treated equally, they're gonna leave, they're gonna cause you problems, of course. And go check in, and then go back to your legal pathway. If you feel they're not the right fit in your team, you need to eliminate them from your team as soon as possible. They're not the right fit, they're not gonna help you grow, they're gonna sabotage your practice, they're gonna talk negatively about your practice behind your back, they're gonna talk negatively about you behind your back, they're gonna undermine your leadership, they're gonna undermine your business, and they will eventually cause a lot of damage that will take months and years to repair. So if you identify someone like that in your team, make sure you find the legal ways to eliminate them within legal boundaries, of course. If not, of course, you have to get HR advice. If you are in the interview process, please look at the red flags videos that I posted before about what to look for when interviewing someone. If you already hired them in the probation period, now my rule is very easy. If the first 3 months there is any signs of prima donnas, they will be eliminated from the team immediately. But simply, it's gonna reflect on their performance, and within the probation period, you have the legal rights to terminate. So hopefully we are smarter now when we are hiring, but if we miss it on the hiring process, hopefully we're smarter in the probation period. And if we miss it in the probation period and start to show later on, hopefully we have very strong, good team culture now that we can easily identify any risks and manage it accordingly as early as possible. If you find this information helpful, make sure you like it and share it with your friends and colleagues. If you want to hear more about my videos, please subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified when more videos are released. Thank you so much for listening to me. It means a lot to me.